Hi, Susie from Pink Diamond Guide. How is everybody? Just stopping by to do a Twin Flame collective read. Look, we've just been through the 1111 portal, and wasn't that a cracker this year? The energy presented a little differently this year to what has been like a normal 1111 energy, and it felt like a really inbound energy, like we were receiving everything from everyone coming at us, and it was really heavy. Normally around 11:11 I feel like I want to send my energy outwards and be really expansive, but this year around 11:11 it was like I was taking on everybody's stuff, everybody's thoughts, everybody's feelings, everybody's processes, and trying to be master of it all, which clearly that doesn't always pan out so well. But as we move through that energy, we're about to move into new moon in Scorpio, which is today, I believe. Yep, we're just about in those energies. So again, that's still got that real depth to our emotions with that Scorpio energy coming through. So we should be swimming in our feels a little bit. But what's really nice about this energy is that we're moving into a space where it's about to become much more expansive, and we're going to start to feel like we're more excited about the new visions and new ideas and new processes, new opportunities that we have coming on board. So I'm going to first have a look at divine feminine energy, look at divine masculine, have a bit of a bridge over the top, and then see some divine love oracle, see what we can come up with. Let's get ourselves a bit of a reading there and see what we've got for divine feminine. Let's have a look. Seven of Wands, we've got the Six of Wands, we've got the Ten of Wands, we've got the Hierophant, the Five of Swords, and the likely outcome, the Five of Pentacles. Interesting, because I have been talking about how it's been a very inbound energy. This reading makes perfect sense. So let's get the bottom six. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and let's have a look what we've got. Our bottom three, we have the Lovers, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Ace of Pentacles. See, this is really lovely. The Lovers card coming through as an energy, understanding the journey more deeply. There's been a lot of inbound energy, and it has been for the purpose of ascension. And it's been really interesting how this energy has been coming at me, because it's been wanting to have ideas that are undiluted, right? And it's there's a lot of practices out there that I would consider spiritually light and fluffy. And it's, under this 11:11 portal, it's kind of been bugging me how they manifest, in that, we've had a lot of really big, deep mystic teachings move out to the West that initially came from the East, that had very specific purposes for why they were carried out. And lately it's been sort of bugging me how those messages have been diluted in flavor of fluffier spiritual terms, and it's kind of been bugging me. So it's like this energy that I'm feeling is getting seriously to work on bringing these more deeper ideals forward, these deeper truths, these twin flame stories. And I can't hold it back. I've watched the Jeff and Shalia twin flame scenario, and just seeing how much devastation that's done to the twin flame community, and the diluted ideas around, not just there, but in other practices around spirituality as well. But it's front and center how much morphing has occurred to a really true message, to a really beautiful message, that we're meant to be bringing this loving energy back to the earth plane, and it's been really morphed by diluted teachings, or teachings that have been misconstrued and used either to for financial gain, or to people who are in deep trauma, and it's pushing them deeper into trauma. And that's not what we want our ascension, our higher consciousness, our spiritual community to represent. What we really want to get to is higher consciousness ideals, true higher consciousness ideals. So in this energy, see, this is really pushing on me, is the twin flame journey with the the challenge here is Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden, and bringing forth true work around what those ideals are, to make some significant change. This is really brewing away from me. How's it affecting you? I've been really, really bothered by ideals that are diluted or misconstrued. And here, look, we've got the energy of the Hermit, we've got the Nine of Cups, and we've got the Strength card. So look, I can completely relate to this Hermit energy. I've been spending a lot of time in meditation, spending a lot of time in trying to connect with God, connect with the divine, to go, what is the purpose of all this? And I have been genuinely heartbroken for the stories that I've seen playing out. Jeff and Shalia is one of them, but it's like been showing up in multiple facets of my journey of where people are using diluted terms. So it's like this idea of being away in my cave to go, what is it? What is my Nine of Cups? What is it that I actually want to deliver? And what am I so afraid of, like in bringing the truth of that story forward? Why do I want to, like, this fire burns to bring the truth forward, but at times when the challenge sort of is upon me, like, are we going to stand up and speak the truth to the journey that we're trying to bring forward? So as a twin flame, like, often we'll come across, people won't understand why you love the person that you do. People won't understand the ascension journey or the spiritual journey that you're on. And then you've got these misaligned or watered down truths that you have to contend with. And in order to overcome it all, you have to overcome fear and anxiety, and you need spiritual strength to move into the harmonious frequency of your twin flame union. Sometimes all that you can do to get there is to withdraw into your cave. And, sometimes it's meditation, sometimes it's study, sometimes it's talking to someone that you trust who'll be able to give you a truth, a real truth. Dive into the mystic teachings that have formed the basis of the higher consciousness community. Don't just stop at the surface text that is making the journey look pretty. Actually dive into the source text. Dive into the information that actually builds the foundation of the journey that you're on, to be able to bring the most harmonious parts of your union forward, and that you don't have to constantly sit in fear and anxiety about the process that you're going through. And see this, the push from the universe right now, can't even make this stuff up, right? The Seven of Wands, hold your ground, defend your ground, hold your space. Make sure that you, like, it takes strength to be strong, but like the universe is giving you a very specific message, a very specific calling, and it's asking you now to stand your ground on behalf of you and your twin flame, right? It's going, not allowing the, I keep saying it, the dilution of the message and the misconstruing of the message to put you off what is the perfect, look, show up in victory. Six of Wands shows up in your physical space. If you hold your ground true to the virtues that are right and proper, that come from mystic teachings, that come from a lifetime of understanding spiritual journeys that have not been diluted by modern times, then you will move into a space of victory around your twin flame ascension journey. In the soul space, you've got the 10 of Wands. It is time to lay down the burden, right? And for everyone, the burden is gonna present differently. For me, it was, the way this energy presented. Yes, I watched the Jeff and Shalia video, and I was just so incredibly heartbroken at how many people have been hurt in their the journey that they've had. I believe that when they started, their journey was present when I started my twin flame journey, like all those years ago. And I used to watch them and think, these guys have got it going on. They've figured it out. And it's like, having figured it out, their light was shining really brightly, right? So in my ideal, the brighter a twin flame light shines and the more that it's doing its work, the more necessary it is for the forces that want to stop twin flames to knock them over. So to see how distorted their message has become just completely breaks my heart. And to see how hurt people have been as a result of it completely breaks my heart. But now I've got to get into a space where I go, right, lay down that burden, right? We know that twin flames are forces for good and forces for evil are going to rise up on both sides of the coin to play out the twin flame prophecy, right? And instead of sitting around feeling miserable, which I have been, about what's happened to the message, fall in love with the message again, lay down the burden of what's come up to this point, and hold my ground on what I know to be true, which is the twin flame journey. It's an arduous journey, it's a difficult journey, but it's one of the most beautiful journeys of ascension you can take. Now, what moves into the challenge position is the Hierophant. So it's refinding that wisdom, right? Going, why did I get on this journey in the first place? What is it all about? Where is it? Yes, there's a romantic element to this, but over and over again, I'll say this is not the point. This is not the reason why you and your twin flame found each other in this lifetime. You found each other to grow and ascend. Now, when you move into the challenges and the diluted message, the misinformation, you can start to question your wisdom on being on the journey. But Spirit's saying, hold to your truth, hold to your ground. You know what you've been through, you know what you've learned, you know how you've moved through these challenging energies. Now they want to go, here, look, this Five of Swords, you're at a transition point, and it's going, stand tall in your victory, and sometimes you have to give away some ideals, some people, some processes in order for you to truly have this victory. What is the likely outcome is that you're going to be sitting on the outside of some ideals. So for me, like, I'm looking at this and I'm sitting in complete opposition to Twin Flame Universe right now, to Jeff and Shalia. I just can't buy into the way that they've moved their message forward to a very, very vulnerable community. And it's like, right now, it's for me to stand my ground. I feel like I'm winning and I'm losing to be able to speak this out. It's like, laying down the burden is to be able to speak my truth and not pretend that this horrible thing isn't happening. And here I'm sitting in opposition to a version of the story. Now, this is going to play out differently for everybody. And if it's, if you're not sitting in a opposition to the doctrine or a truth or a process in your life, a spiritual process, and this is a person, you can apply it directly to how you're feeling about your twin flame as a person. See, where my journey's at, like Ricky's right here, I don't have to feel completely separate from him. But if we apply this to a person, it's going, standing your ground for your twin flame union, because they're in that understanding the doctrine and holding ground for your union. You're moving into a victory. You can lay down the fight within your soul, get out of the runner chaser dynamic. How's the answer to the question? More knowledge, more wisdom, more spiritual growth. And at the moment, you could be feeling like, even though you're moving forward in knowledge, that you still haven't healed your connection. And the likely outcome is that you're still feeling disconnection from your person. So however it's playing out with you, whether it's playing out with the doctrine story, the greater twin flame collective, or you're just applying this energy to your person, either story is absolutely relevant. But where we're headed is to a more expansive knowledge. And I would expect to see that as December opens up, that we get a more expansive energy start to occur. My likely scenario is we're going to see it in the divine masculine energy. So I'm going to have a look at that energy now and see what it tells us about how this knowledge is starting to open up and how it's starting to shift and adjust the journey. Let's have a look at what's going on there. Oh, yeah, look, we've got the Five of Wands, we've got the Ace of Cups, then we've got the Ace of Wands. Here we go. We've got the Strength card moves to the challenge. We've got the Tower in the advice from Spirit. And the likely outcome is the Queen of Pentacles. More expansion here. All right, what have we got under the deck? We have got Three of Pentacles, Seven of Pentacles, and the Knight of Swords. Now, what's really interesting about this is that, like, I've been laying really heavy into some, and see that all of that Scorpio energy, that's how it affected me, right? That Scorpio energy is to dive into the mystic energy. How it's moved this, look at this, twin flame doctrine comes through again. the divine masculine, the divine feminine, and the divine is how I represent this card. The Three of Pentacles is getting on mission. And here we've got the divine masculine in the pre-harvest of being on mission. So their knowledge is opening up and growing and moving into a more expansive space. And what does it do to them? It actually puts them into a state of confusion, right? So now their knowledge is opening. The more something opens, the more that it's new, you get frustration with new energy, right? You get like, if you don't know something, you don't know something until you know it, right? So here we go. We've got new information about twin flame mission or twin flame doctrine. They're in the pre-harvest of it, so they don't fully understand it yet, which can cause some degree of confusion or frustration. Here we go. Look at this. We've got the 10 of Cups. We've got the 3 of Wands, and we've got the Devil. Interestingly, because Scorpio does have, is connected to this devil energy. So sex is a question that comes up under this energy that we all have to manage. How does sex fit into my happy ever after? How do I have all of my ships come in? How does sex fit into a spiritual union also, right? How do I have this happy ever after? How do I have all my ships come in? And how does sex fit into it in a healthy way? So they're asking questions around how do I pull all of this energy together in a successful way, because I'm looking into a whole heap of doctrine that is somewhat confusing to me at this point, and I'm in the pre-harvest of it. I haven't received all of the information just yet, but I'm trying to figure it out. Now here, look, the universe has got them in friction with those ideas and those ideals. They're still trying to figure out exactly what all of these messages are coming in from the universe. So it's still in a bit of a, excuse me, a fight with how they feel about it, right? So they might be, they could be having dreams, they could be reading things, they could be being spoken to about higher order thinking or spiritual enlightenment on some level of some process, and it keeps coming at them. They can't avoid it, but it puts them into a space of friction. And here's the divine. It says, I want you to feel a new level of love. Look at that, the Ace of Cups. And I always talk about the Ace of Cups as divine love, spiritual love, and self-love, right? Twin love, sorry, I don't even know what I'm talking about. Divine love, twin love, and self-love. So this is the idea that every version of love spills over. And the divine, see this divine hand, it's like offering it all over. It's sitting there being offered over to them as a, they want their cup to runneth over. And it goes, yeah, all right, you can have my cup runneth over, but how does that relate to the worldly plane, right? How do I have all of this happen and I still get to enjoy all of this, and it all makes sense in a nice, neat, wrapped, gift bowed energy that you know, you have to make it all make sense to me, divine. And the divine's going, no, you're all right with the frustration. Frustration is your friend, because frustration, the next energy from frustration is you learn something new. And what have they got in their soul space? They've got the Ace of Wands, right? So again, we have that very, very phallic, divine desire. You know, like they want you. They have an energy of desire that's rising from a soul space, and they're trying to reconcile how the two fit together neatly. So what's their challenge, right? To tame the beast. What is the beast currently? It's the desire that they feel. So their challenge at the moment is to know what to do with desire in a healthy way when stacked up with divine energy. Now here, the likely scenario is, or the push from the advice from the universe, advice from spirit, is the tower energy. So one ideal will fall over in favor of another. This is where all this new expansive energy is that I'm picking up, is that divine masculine is going to be the one to open the door to a new vision, and then they'll build it, right? They'll build it. So what we need is an old system of things to fall away in favor of a new system of things to be built up. And what they have is Ace of Cups and Ace of Wands driving that, so that they're able to truly understand, how do I have these energies behaving beautifully together in order for me to feel happy, in order to feel like my ships have come in and I get everything I want out of the connections that I have, right? They have to tick the spiritual box and they have to tick the worldly box, right? So it's the feeling like what they believe, what their doctrine, what their idea, what their broader picture of life is, has to tick the boxes with their desire and the processes. See, these two, they're gonna have to, they're new ideas, they're expansive new visions about love and desire, and they have to work in harmony in order for them to move into a harmonious union. But they're doing the work. Look at this. The Spirit says, let it all fall down. Let those old ideas fall down in favor of divine union. Let's get a message from divine masculine straight to divine feminine and ask, what would they say if they could? Divine masculine, what would you tell divine feminine if you could? Specifically, what's your message? What would you say if you could? Let's have a look. Radio. Straight up. Three of Wands comes in. They want you. They do. They want you. Okay. And then we've got the Three of Wands to the Four of Wands to the King of Swords to the Seven of Wands to the Knight of Swords, and the Seven of Pentacles again is the likely outcome. So we still have we've got this repeat of this Seven of Pentacles energy of being in the pre-harvest of receiving what they want. Where did we see it over here? Yeah, look, we had it in here and it was causing them frustration. So look, this is what's in the challenge position. You've got the Seven of Wands here. So it's really frustrating to them that at the moment they don't know how to drive this home. They don't know how to complete the cycle. It still feels like it's a challenging process for them. The universe wants them to look at this, the Three to the Four. They want all their ships to come in and feel like they're in a harmonious union with their divine counterpart. They want the family scenario. They want the bells and whistles. But what they know is that the energy that pushes against them is not the normal construct. They don't get the normal relationship when it comes to you. There's all of these other questions that get asked that aren't just baseline questions. Why do you affect me the way that you do? Why does my soul elevate? King of Swords in the soul space. Why do I ask the questions that I do? Why do I have to rise to a level of ascension because I'm connected with you? Like, why does it push me down the pathways that it pushes me? And why am I so defensive to it, right? Why can't I just drive this energy home instead of always sitting in the pre-harvest? I can see all of the fruit on the tree. Why don't I get to pick this fruit when I'm doing everything that I can? Look at this King of Swords in the soul. I'm doing everything that I can to meet you where I'm supposed to be. Doing everything I can. Why is it that we're still sitting in a space that essentially remains a pre-harvest space where we're not getting out of the connection everything that we want to get out of it? And essentially at this point in time, it's because there's still see this over here, there's still this idea of frustration or fear or anxiety, of an idea of going, this causes me no end of drama in my mind space, and I can't relax into what this mission is. When I come into contact with you, what happens is my soul lights up, my DNA gets affected, I start thinking different things, I start moving in different ways, and I don't necessarily know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I know I want to be with you. I know I want all my ships to come in around this connection, but I just, like, why do I put up such a fight to it? Why can't I just drive this home, and why can't I just get all the reward for this process? And it's like this cycle that keeps going around. You might get to a baseline where you feel like you could bring this back together, but then the next cycle of ascension starts and you're back into this space where you're feeling frustrated all over again. So let's have a bit of look at Divine Love Oracle, because I think I get a feel like a really good feel. I'm looking and I'm looking and I'm looking, but I'm not seeing. You know why? Because that one was hiding it. There they are. I've got a real good feel for what's happening in this energy. And the divine feminine is really in, you could describe these energies almost around divine feminine as they've shifted into like a political feel, right? In going, I need to be, I want things done right. I want to be on the right side of this energy. And what we've got to be really careful of, divine feminine, is that we stay in the more charming side of the energy versus the assertion or the aggression. If we move into an aggressive energy around this, it's going to be very, very unattractive. It's not going to be something that's going to serve us. But because it's got such a drive on it, it's got such a push on it, and the things that are being exposed under this energy are really heightened, it can push us into a place where an over assertion could be a real problem. Whereas divine masculine is going, like, I just want you. I just want you. Why is it always going to be such a problem when we come together? Why is it going to come with all of these other steps and processes and challenges and boundaries? And, like, it's not that divine feminine is putting those boundaries there. It's a default state that any time that the energy ascends and any time you come together, there's going to be a boot in the energy that's designed to get you to both move forward. And when I say move forward, it doesn't always mean come together. Move forward is growth, ascension, right? So it's like divine masculine is sitting in a place of going, why can't it just be easy? Why does it got to come with all of these other layers of process and information? Can't it just be easy? And, you think divine feminine doesn't want it just to be easy. But what we've come to know and understand, the path to the ease is the knowledge, right? And now what we're aware of is that there's a lot of twin flame information out there. There's a lot of ascension information, a lot of even meditation and, healing. There's so much. The movement has grown exponentially, and it's going, what is a truth? What is undiluted? What is fact? How do I move my connection forward in a way that is in line with the mystic teachings that were designed to get twin flames into union? And that can become a new fight for divine feminine as she figures out where the truth factors are in the information that she's receiving. Whereas divine masculine is going, I just want you. I just want you. Why does it got to get complicated? Why does it got to be complicated, right? And again, I'm not saying that you make it complicated. I'm saying that twin flames are complicated by default, right? It's part of the journey. Let's have a look at Divine Love Oracle and see what we get for Divine Feminine. Oh, I like this. We got Blossom for Divine Masculine. Dark Night. Interesting. And for the connection, we've got Cosmic Symphony. Divine Feminine, look at this. Blossom. This is really where we're sitting, right? In going, see this here, you had the Hierophant in the challenge position and you've got Blossom as the Divine Love Oracle. This is the idea that you come into the fullness of who you are as the Divine Feminine and the fullness of what it is to be on a twin flame journey. When you blossom into this energy, it is that you are, it becomes you. It's not just an idea that you think about. It's not a process that's abstract to you. It is, you have evolved enough in your journey that it is you. You are a twin flame on mission, and you are well on your way to attracting your counterpart towards you to live in harmonious union, right? But to blossom into the energy is to be part of the mission, and sometimes that comes with work, right? And at the moment, there could be a bit of a resistance to the work. I know that I've felt like pulling back into the hermit's cage and just learning and growing. So now what we've got to do is go, what did you learn and grow? Now you've got to blossom and bring that fruit forward. And, not only does it help your twin flame union, but it helps the collective in general. And look, there is a whole heap of people do it. If you're still watching at this point and you're in this stage, send a prayer to all of the people who've been sucked into twin flame universe and been hurt by it, whose trauma has been taken advantage of, and who this mission to bring light to the world has been sabotaged by the forces that would stop it. When you sit in this energy of blossom, you're able to send a prayer to Jeff and Shalia and pray that they're returned to what their original mission was, which was to bring twin flames into harmonious union and not make money off the back of other people's trauma. And look, I haven't worked in twin flame universe. I haven't. Have I been connected with people who have looked at the teachings? Yes. And have I interacted with their teachings before they turned into twin flame universe with all of these really heavy ideals that they've imposed on people? Yeah, when they first started, I was actually really interested in their ideals and what they learned and what they had to say. But now that we've blossomed into the truth of the energy, we need to be able to call out the teachings that are not serving twin flames, that are hurting twin flames in trauma. So if you've moved into a place where you're sitting in a higher vibe and you can look back to others who are hurting and who are finding this information deep in their trauma, send them a prayer. Send a prayer to Jeff and Shalia that they correct their ways in the way that they're dealing with the twin flame community and stop hurting people. I know I'm on my soapbox about this, but I'm so affected by seeing how far off track these teachings have become, and that how damaging it is for the twin flame collective to stand up under the light of such heaviness, and just how many people have been hurt. So I'm going to stop there and just, if you're able to send a prayer to those who've been hurt, pray for Jeff and Shalia that the light returns to their union and that the damage to the community can cease. Satan, get out of it. Get out of it. Twin flames are here for a mission. They're here to evolve the light. They're here to bring love forward. And, the journey that they've got to go through is treacherous enough without those who can lead them through it being taken out by something so dark. Oh, here we go, dark night. This is what comes through for divine masculine. And it is this process that we've been talking about, which could put them into this kind of an ideal. I'm not going to see this, I really don't see this energy as a true dark night of the soul, but what I'm seeing it more as is aligning what they're feeling with what they need to do in order to bring themselves into happiness. See this energy here, this is more what I'm seeing. If I just felt this energy, I'd be going, yeah, it could possibly be completely sunk into it, but I'm not. I'm seeing it as a balancing out of these energies, and that this dark night will open to a much more expansive energy. I almost want to draw another card to go over the top of that dark night one and just expand on that idea more, because I don't think it's a true dark night of what's going on there. Oh, interesting. What have we got? We've got Chaser. Where's that? Hold on. Dark night and Chaser. So look at this. They can see you in their dark night. See how dark this energy is behind them? But this eye here is looking out to a whole heap of color over there. That's more the energy that I'm looking at, right? And it could be that they've shifted from being, a runner energy where they're sort of stopping running and now sort of wanting to go after their connections. It's a likely scenario. And in this, as a likely outcome, cosmic symphony, what I'm really looking for this energy to do under this window is for divine masculine and divine feminine to be playing the same frequency. Like cosmic symphony is the idea that if the way that you create your reality is like God gave you a guitar, right? And he said, he gave you a sheet of music and he said, I want you to play this music note perfect. I want you to get the right rhythm, the right melody. Your guitar has to be perfectly in tune. When you play the right song, right, on this guitar, you will create the perfect, harmonious life down there on earth, but you have to play it note perfect, right? It has to be as per the sheet of music that I've written for you. And if you do that, you will get everything that is promised to you by the divine, right? But what we do is go, awesome, a guitar, that's freaking awesome. I think I know how to play it. And we just pick it up and we strum it pretty mindlessly. And then out in front of us creates a whole heap of chaos. And the divine says, no, come back. I didn't give you that guitar to play it mindlessly. I gave you the guitar and I gave you the music. So how I see that with twin flames is going, you got given the relationship, you got given the doctrines or the teachings or the undiluted teachings, and he said, play it note perfect and you will bring your union into harmony, right? But what we do is we go, I know what I'm doing. I'm just going to, we're meant to be together. I'm just going to chase him down and I'm going to browbeat him into submission until he knows he's the one for me and that we're meant to be together perfectly. And God says, no, right? I gave you the guitar. I gave you the music. I gave you the notes. I gave you the doctrines. I gave you the teachings. I gave you everything you're meant to do. So then we go out and we go, well, I'm going to look at someone else's sheet of music and I'm going to try and play it their way, which is where I'm looking at like the teachings that are diluted and off base, right? We're going, those teachings aren't going to work for you either. We need to get to the divine's true message, the divine's core message, if we're going to bring twin flame unions online. The cosmic symphony is a pure harmony played perfectly to bring your union into harmony. Is it easy? No. But when you learn how to play it, guess what? You become it and you blossom as a divine energy in harmony with the divine. Look, this reading is like, it's been heavy because I've really been in a heavy space, and I think across the collective it's been a really heavy space. But where we're headed is to a more expansive energy, and we should be starting to see the results of that coming through. We're seeing a little bit of it there, right? A little bit of that energy starting to open up, but where we should be looking to new visions, new harmonies, new expansion, new broader ideals as our 7-year wraps up. And we don't have long to go. We're halfway through November, we've got December to go, and then 2024 is an 8-year, which is about, that's going to charge forward. That's about the individual taking responsibility for their journey and being leaders of their own life. But to get there, we need to know, what song are we going to play? What is going to be your cosmic symphony as you move into 2024? Are you going to play God's music? Are you going to play the divine music that brings you into harmonious union? Or are you going to continue to just strum on a guitar and create chaos out in front of you? Both is perfectly acceptable, but one is going to bring more peace and harmony. The other is going to continue to bring more chaos, which is why I always say knowledge is power. It's finding this sheet of music and playing it to the best of your ability. Righto, I'm going to wrap this reading up here and sending lots of love out to the collective, prayers towards Jeff and Shalia, and hopes that the energy that our collective can form moving forward is a much more positive one on the back of what's been a really negative experience for twin flames. I'll stop talking about that because, I'm clearly I could talk how upset I am about it for days, but we won't. We'll move on. And next reading, you should see that there's a much more positive, expansive energy available. So until then, I'm going to say, in faith, hope, and love, it's bye from me for now.